Hello and welcome to today's Partner Infopedia web conference. This is the U.S. Office 365 Partner Community Call for May of 2015. Kicking us off today is our Microsoft host, Michael Pansaroli, who is a Partner Technology Strategist for Office 365. Michael, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Deb, and good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you are. And welcome to the May call. It's good to have you all here. And just quickly running through the agenda today, this month, we're going to, with our focus on CRM Online and Office 365, we're going to have a couple of presenters today. Looking forward to their content. And then actually right before that, we're going to have Rami come on and just share some learning opportunities around CRM Online that are happening in the very near future. And so just a quick community welcome, and as always, we're going to try to leave a few minutes for a Q&A, which you can put into the Q&A window. And just a few opportunities for you to be able to get more engaged in the community. We're glad to have you here on the call, and so I'm assuming you've signed up for the call. If you haven't, or maybe this was forwarded to you, there's your vanity URL in there in the bottom right with the U.S. Office 365 Partner Community Series. If you want to sign up, which is, I think there's only one or two more left, and then we will start that again for our next fiscal year. There's also a newsletter that comes out. A lot of people seem to be opening and reading from analytics, and so it's getting read, it's getting clicked on, and so I'm glad to see that. But if you have any feedback on the newsletter, please feel free to sound off on the Yammer group or any other comments that you might have. There's the vanity URL there, aka.ms, join Office 365 Yammer, and that's our community group. Sign up for the newsletter if you haven't received that and you'd like kind of a summary of our monthly focus and other articles on service news, upcoming training for partners and other partner-related news. And then we have a blog series. And so there's the first couple of posts on CRM Online and Office 365 that were done by Janet and Dave, our presenters today, and you can find those on aka.ms/US blog. And we're going to have one more coming for some drill down on some additional partner opportunities on how you can monetize this opportunity. So we're glad to have you here, and if you're not able to make Ignite, we hope that this is a good session for you nonetheless. And just a note to partners too, just so you know, if you're not aware, you can catch all the Ignite content available within 24 hours on Channel 9. I must have went through about 8 hours of content yesterday, and they've been pretty good on that SLA, and so you can check out the keynotes and all those sessions there. So there's over 1,000 sessions, and check out channel9.com and the Build Conference. If you want to see all that's happening, a lot of announcements coming out, and I think I'll probably dedicate the entire month to it on catching everybody up on some of the opportunities, particularly resonating for partners. So with that, let me just turn this over to Rami Nujane. He's a partner service offering lead, and Rami, you want to just talk about some opportunities for CRM Online for partners, some webcasts that you have coming up?
Certainly. Thank you, Michael. Yes, as Michael said, my name is Rami Nujame. I'm the Partner Services Offering Lead, and I'm excited to be here. So before I pass it on to Dave and Jan, I just wanted to take a few minutes and walk you through two webcasts that we have available to you today. They're available through the Partner Learning Center, and a great way of expanding your business into dynamic CRM online. The first webcast is really focused on if you already have an existing Office 365 practice and you'd like to add CRM Online to your practice, I think this is a great getting started. That's what we're calling it, first step. A great offer, again, to expand your business. The key features, and as you can see from the bullet points, what you'll get out of this webcast, and it's divided up into it's a 4-series webcast delivered for a couple of hours every week over a course of a month. So it's not, you don't have to be in front of your monitor for 8 hours. You can just take 2 hours per week. And what you'll get out of this is all the integration aspects of CRM Online with Office 365. We'll do an introduction on Dynamic CRM. We'll go through an overview, some of the basic pricing, licensing, some of the IUR rights, and then I guess the big value is some of the integration points within SharePoint, Exchange, Yammer, Skype for Business, Power BI, social listening overview, and that's all covered as well as an overview of some of the competitive landscape. So great webcast for you to consume, and this is running in the market today. We have it available this month in May, and you see the dates there, and we're also running it again in June. And then based on the popularities, we'll probably schedule again in the summertime. So take advantage of this. If you have any questions around this offer, there's an alias on the slide here, napa@microsoft.com. Feel free to send them a quick mail if you want to learn more about the offer or you need any assistance in registering for the offer. The second offer, again, is really around activating your IUR rights. And the key thing with this offer, and this is the first time we've just finished developing this webcast, and we'll make it available June 10th. It is open today for registration, and it's another webcast at no charge. In addition to going through how to use your internal user rights for CRM, there are two modules that focus on real-world scenarios around how to grow your business with CRM using your IUR licenses, and also a demo. So we have our senior CRM consultant that walks you through and demonstrates CRM online, and he'll also walk you through scenarios, some basic scenarios that will have obviously a tangible impact on your business. So that's the time I have. So if you have any questions around any of these two webcasts, contact us at napa@microsoft.com. And on that note, I'll hand it over to Janet and Dave.
Thank you very much, Remy. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to jump on the call today. My name is Dave Mannion, and I'm a CRM industry architect at Microsoft. I'm going to be joined a little later by Janet Carr, who is a senior partner practice recruiter from Microsoft. And together we're going to discuss with you a number of reasons why Office 365 partners should think really seriously about expanding your Microsoft practices to include CRM Online, if you haven't already done that. We'll look at how CRM Online can be a key component that helps your customers increase their adoption and their usage of Office 365. And we'll do that primarily by showing you how deeply intertwined CRM Online and Office 365 really are. Along the way, we'll talk about a few customer examples that highlight the benefits that you're already telling your customers about today, things like productivity, ease of use, and increased collaboration. We'll also spend a few minutes talking about the use of CRM Online as a platform, which we call XRM, to build integrated line of business applications that might fall outside of the typical realm of a CRM solution. And then Janet's going to share with us a number of benefits of investing in CRM Online, along with how we can engage. So let's get started with a discussion about the many ways an integrated Office 365 and and CRM Online solution are better together, and they're going to help you to provide differentiated value to your customers. I think everyone knows today's sales landscape has changed. It's more complicated than ever, and salespeople are facing very significant internal pressures to do more with less. But if you look on top of that, salespeople are there are huge changes in the way people are buying in general. I think the key to long-term success in this environment is being able to free up your salespeople to focus on engaging, developing, and building those customer relationships. Now, there are also internal challenges that are drains on productivity, so much so that salespeople today spend more than 75% of their time on non-selling activities. And they've got so many of these non-selling demands put on them that they're forced to multitask just to keep up. But every time they're switching tasks, they're not getting more done. They're actually losing 40% of their productivity every time they switch tasks. And even when salespeople are engaging in non-selling activities that are supposed to help them be more successful, like going to training, for example, the return on the time and effort investment is pretty dismal as well. In fact, only 30% of what they learn in training is retained after a week, and that's a pretty sad stat. On top of that, salespeople are losing productivity every time they can't access customer information when they're on the road. In fact, productivity drops by 15%. And when you add up all of that lost productivity, it's no wonder that salespeople only spend 25% of their time doing what's most important to them, which is actually selling. So in addition to some of these internal obstacles that are draining their productivity, as I mentioned, there are pretty significant changes in the way people are buying and the buying behaviors that are out there. They're threatening the way of selling, and they're creating new challenges for salespeople. We all know today's buyers are more independent, they're more informed, they're savvy, and we're finding out that there are highly influential people in roles inside of organizations that we didn't think about before. And it's these super buyers that they're the result of the explosion of social media and mobility and mobile. So by the time your buyers talk to salespeople, traditionally they had been less so, but now they're about 60% of the way through the buying process before they even reach out to you. And they've got more information earlier in the sales cycle, which is not the way things had been done in the past. What's more, customers have already defined their needs, they've done research, they've settled on some requirements, and they're starting to benchmark on price. So by the time the customer reaches out to you, the only thing left for the seller to compete on is price. And although traditional interactions with customers like in-person meetings, phone calls, and emails are still around, by no means are they dead, but this customer journey, it doesn't start solely with a cold call or even a cold email. In fact, statistics show that a sales rep has only a 1% chance of getting a response from one of those. When we look at B2B or B2B, I think the purchase decisions there have evolved as well. There are, on average, 5.4 customer stakeholders involved in a typical B2B purchase decision, and the deals are becoming increasingly complex. These new stakeholders are from different parts of the organization, like marketing, for example, and they have a real voice inside of the organization. In addition to that, buyers today have higher expectations. They're expecting us to be engaged with them in meaningful, relevant ways. And again, a stat here, 53% of customer loyalty is driven by a seller's ability to deliver unique insight, which in other words means that your company's brand, your products, your service, and price are no longer the main drivers of customer loyalty. Instead, it's what customers want today. It lies within the sales experience itself. So in this complex world of sales, what we can do collectively as Microsoft and the partner organization is to help salespeople sell more effectively by scaling their operations, giving them the tools that they need to be able to do more with less. Salespeople are responsible for breaking down silos and working together as a network because they have to be able to increase their impact when they're selling to the way today's buyers work. And I think the foundation of that successful collaboration is the ability for you to be able to bring people together to work either in an ad hoc basis or in structured ways to get things done. When you think about it from an Office 365 perspective, we're talking about things like being able to co-author sales presentations or bring in experts on the fly during customer meetings. We're able to meet that with embedded collaboration and communication tools that folks are using today, like Yammer and Skype for Business, that are going to allow salespeople to work together under any situation. Communication and collaboration, they're not just limited to the salesperson's immediate org structure either. So we're helping people reach beyond the sales organization and collaborate with other groups and geographies that they typically had been out of reach. In fact, according to a Microsoft study, salespeople experience a 37% increase in project collaboration through being able to work their social network. I think if you look at the examples that we had on the prior slide, you can see that the need to close the gaps between operational silos is something that's very stirring and something that needs to be addressed, because it's that complete view of the customer from which you're able to develop the meaningful insights into your customers across those silos of information. If you had a separate cloud for sales, marketing, service, and whatever else it is that you do, you'd end up giving your customers a disjointed experience, which is where many companies are today. But if you truly want to deliver amazing customer experiences, you need business applications that harmonize marketing, sales, and service efforts so that at each point of interaction that you have with your customer, that it can be seamless and it can be consistent, no matter when it occurs throughout the customer lifecycle or how it is that your customer chooses to engage with you. And what you need to be able to do this is one cloud that is able to do that well. And that one cloud is the Microsoft Cloud for Business. Oftentimes, the conversations that we have with our customers start out with a focus on how to sell a single product that can help them with their business challenges. But it's when we turn that conversation on its side and start selling them on the vision of an integrated solution, that's when we really start to make a difference for them. A great example of this is the sales productivity solution that combines Office 365 with CRM Online and Power BI. Now, roughly 80% of the deals that sold as the sales productivity solution started as a single product opportunity, but the value prop that resonated most with our customers is that integrated one Microsoft story, and it became a solution when it was pitched as sales productivity. In research that we've done of deal wins, demos of integrated functionality were frequently cited as critical to changing the conversation from a product to a solution conversation. And that's something that's not only good for the customer, but it's also good for you as an Office 365 partner. For example, for every dollar generated on a CRM Online license, partners pulled through nearly $1.75 in Office 365 revenue. And you guys already know the pitch. In situations where customers already own Office 365, we're seeing similar success there as well. Nearly a third of the deals sold as the sales productivity solution saw additional seats of Office 365 sold, not to mention the incremental seats and services around things like CRM Online, Azure, SharePoint Online, and Power BI. So we'll take a quick peek into some of the key capabilities of the sales productivity solution. And what it provides for you is a whole breadth of capabilities that are designed to empower organizations to be able to sell effectively. Things like account and opportunity management, customer insights, planning and management, collaborative selling, mobile sales, and sales analytics. We'll take a deeper dive into that. Not surprisingly, these probably look like typical workloads that you would expect from a CRM solution, but it's through the deep integration with Office 365 that these workloads really come to life. So, around the concept of accounts and opportunities, our sales productivity solution enables salespeople to manage their accounts and their opportunities in ways that are intuitive. It's a very familiar environment because they're so used to working inside of Microsoft Office applications. I think, we saw earlier that when salespeople switch tasks, they lose productivity. And what our solution aligns is that it aligns with the way salespeople want to be able to work, which boosts their satisfaction, it makes them more productive, and when it's easier and faster to manage their accounts and opportunities, salespeople have more time to focus on their customers. Great examples of this. The immersive Excel experience that is part of the spring release of CRM Online 2015, which just came out this week, is a great way for someone to be able to go out from within the context of one of their CRM records or a list of CRM records and do things like pipeline analysis, for example, where it will pull the data directly from CRM Online into Excel Online. They can do the analysis that they need to. They can calculate different formulas and then either push that data directly back up into Dynamic CRM with the changes that they've made, or just simply slice and dice the data the way that they care to, but all done from the context of their work, meaning they're not having to switch applications and go over into Excel. They're just navigating to that from within CRM Online's user interface. Embedded OneNote is something else that's brand new to CRM Online. And if you think about the many ways that people could take advantage of that, it's going to facilitate note-taking and sharing, again, directly from within CRM Online. So people can they can capture their pictures, their handwritten notes, and attach them directly to the account or the opportunity that they're tracking inside their CRM system. Another key aspect to the integration between Office 365 and CRM Online is Outlook. Salespeople and everyone else inside an organization lives inside of Outlook all day long. That's where they're managing their calendar, they're doing all their email. And rather than forcing them to leave Outlook to go work on their sales task, what we've done with Dynamics CRM is embed the entire CRM application into the Outlook interface, which obviously is going to help optimize their productivity as well. We have something that's part of the product that's going to help ease onboarding and make sure that folks are able to do things like business process realignment. We've got a user interface paradigm that has these built-in business process flows. From a productivity standpoint, it's helping people ramp up on new processes more quickly. With salespeople, it's helping them get the information that they need when they need it. They're not required to memorize a whole bunch of steps. And it's this type of contextual guidance that's critical because it mitigates the low retention rate of information, information that people acquire in training that I was talking about a little earlier. Something else that's unique to the sales productivity solution in CRM Online is the ability to keep sales reps informed about every interaction that's happening. Anything from executive meetings to call logs to marketing campaigns, all of that data flows through into the context of that opportunity or the account that you happen to be managing. Customer insights. Earlier we talked about some of the significant changes in the way people are buying today. What we've done with Dynamics CRM. All right, so I'll step quickly through this. I was mentioning social engagement. It's a part of the Dynamics solution, and it's designed to help people understand what folks are saying about your company on sources like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, those sorts of things. It's a tool that will let you go out, understand what folks are saying about you, identify buying signals, and then make sure that you're able to jump into the conversation when the time is right with your customers. We also have a product called Insights, which is powered by InsideView. That's part of the core product that lets people not only enrich their data with information from about 30,000 different sources of information. Gives you real-time company news, events, everything that's going on. And it also will highlight for you different connections that you might have with key decision makers inside of an organization so that you can get that warm handoff when you step into a meeting with them. Around the topic of planning and management, again, the sales productivity solution gives you the full breadth of sales planning and capabilities for folks like sales managers. Sales leaders are able to maintain their focus by tracking competitors and their customers. For example, they can gain valuable insight about competitors' market developments like delays or setbacks or new product launches. And this is the insight that sales managers are looking for to have an opportunity to gain competitive advantage. Around the concept of dashboards and analytics, we'll actually take a little bit of a deeper dive into that here in just a couple of slides. Collaborative selling is also a hallmark of the sales productivity solution, and I think this is where it really starts to shine. The if you look at the integration here, it's really something that is a huge differentiator for us in the dynamic space. So if you think about a typical sales scenario where you might have to interact with colleagues and form a network that's going to address the needs and viewpoints of a whole bunch of different stakeholders, salespeople can use tools like Office Groups, for example, or SharePoint as places where they can store their create and store their proposals, their presentations that they're working on, and do things like co-authoring and sharing. Salespeople can also, because of the fact that it's not reliant on a CRM Online license, reach beyond that sales organization to share ideas about their customers on places like Yammer, for example. And finally, salespeople are able to communicate with coworkers across functions and geographies by using some of the embedded communication tools and presence with IM, voice, video, and online meetings with Skype for Business. Mobile sales, we talked a little bit earlier that salespeople who don't have mobile access to customer data suffer a big loss in productivity. And I think, it's not surprising that given how often salespeople are on the go, they demand these types of things. With CRM Online, mobile sales is enabled for folks across a variety of different devices and form factors, ranging from Windows phones to Windows tablet devices like Surfaces, but also on iPad, iPhone, Android tablets and phones as well. And what it provides for folks is out-of-the-box abilities to access their information that's living in CRM Online across those different devices and form factors. Additionally, we have full offline support with CRM for Outlook. So salespeople, if they're on a plane or on a train and need to continue to get work done inside their CRM application, can take that completely disconnected. To monitor and coach sales teams, grow the business, managers obviously need the ability to turn their data into insights and then use that information to make better, faster decisions. They're doing that today with out-of-the-box charts, graphs, and dashboards that are part of the core product, but they also are more and more leveraging Power BI and the ability to do drill downs and have interactive visualizations with Power BI. Obviously, some of the things that resonate really well with folks are things like the natural language Q&A. I know from myself, every time I do a demo of Dynamics CRM where we've got integration with Office 365 and Power BI, people's jaws drop to the floor when they see me querying in natural language into my CRM system to pull out data related to my pipeline, for example, or anything else that's going on inside the organization. We've got an out-of-the-box connector for CRM Online for Power BI, and that's helping reduce the barriers to deploying some business intelligence solution that really is designed for self-service, and from a partner perspective, giving you the opportunity to layer on top of that your abilities to go in, query the data, and make it meaningful so that folks can really run and drive their business off of the analytics that are coming out. I mentioned, we've got a pre-built connector for Dynamics CRM. We also have a sales template that's going to help you as a partner get up and running quickly. And, of course, we've got native mobile apps for Power BI so that folks, whether they're on an iPad or any other type of device, can go out there and get access to that data, which, again, is going to be sourced partially or primarily out of CRM. So what I'll do here, I wanted to bring all this integration to life. Let's walk through a typical scenario of managing an opportunity in CRM Online and how Office 365 enriches that experience for the sales team. So let's start with a salesperson who gets an email from one of his customers who's interested in getting a quote for additional products that he isn't buying today. And this is how all this would kind of play out and work together. That email is going to come in through Microsoft Exchange. And I, as a user of CRM Online, have the ability to take that email that's in my inbox, click a button that says Track in CRM, or use one of the connectors that go directly between Exchange and CRM, and have that data live as an activity inside my CRM system and start a threaded conversation. I might follow that up with a call with a customer. As I mentioned, we've got integrated presence information inside of CRM Online that would let me do click the call using Link or Skype for Business and follow up with the customer. While I'm on the call, I'm going to take notes using OneNote and, again, store that contextually within the account record or the opportunity that I'm pursuing. I might schedule a follow-up meeting, again, using Exchange and Outlook, which would not only show up on my calendar, but it would also sync then or show up as an activity in my CRM system. Also, we have integration with Yammer that not only lets me go out and collaborate, but it can also serve as, CRM can also serve as a source for automatic posts. So, for example, when my opportunity hits a certain revenue threshold or a certain height in the pipeline, it might post automatically to the Yammer feed so that other folks have visibility into what's going on. Now, as we move further along in the process to where we're getting ready to propose, obviously, our ability to create and collaborate on documents using things like Office Groups and SharePoint is something that's fantastic and resonates very well with customers. When it comes to closing the deal, creating a plan. Obviously, SharePoint Online is going to be a great usage for that. And when it comes to generating that proposal, sending it out to the customer and sharing it with them, we've got Word Online as well as SharePoint. And finally, we've got at the end of the deal, whether we've won or lost, the ability to use things like Power BI for Office 365 to start doing some trend analysis as well. So hopefully that sheds some light for you on why a sales productivity solution from Microsoft, powered by CRM Online and Office 365, would be a great thing to go out and pitch to your customers. You get to leverage the power of all the productivity tools like Excel, OneNote, Outlook. It puts it all within the context of the customer and the account records. We've got great collaboration tools and integration with eAmmer and other collaboration tools that are part of the stack. And then finally, we offer salespeople the ability to stay productive on the go with mobility options for them as well. Real quick, a couple of customer stories that I wanted to highlight. Grant Thornton is an accounting firm, a large user of CRM Online, and the value that they're getting out of their investment in CRM Online is, since they've adopted it, they've seen an increase in wins by 39%. Their deal sizes have increased by 36%, and obviously they've got greater visibility into the number of opportunities that are being tracked, which went up by about 450%. Trek Bicycles is another great example, and in this case, they're running their business in the cloud. They're using CRM Online with Office 365. They're using Skype for Business and Yammer, and they have extremely collaborative sales teams. So the solution that was deployed for them gives them a complete view of their customers and their accounts. It reduces the amount of time spent on meeting prep, and it also has dramatically increased the amount of idea sharing that goes on within the organization. Finally, CSX Transportation is a large company that also has deployed Dynamic CRM. The company, again, has been able to improve their collaboration. They drive productivity. They get great visibility into new business opportunities, and that has led them to improve their relationships that they've got with their customers. There are links here in this slide that I think are on the blog posts that we've already posted, so I will skip over that for now, but this is just sort of a recap of how everything works together. Now, I wanted to spend just a couple of minutes talking about the usage of Dynamic CRM as a development platform, which we call XRM. And you know, this is something that has been around for a number of years with Dynamic CRM and CRM Online. But when you think about, you know, some of the other value that organizations get out of their investment, using it as a development platform is one of the ones that really helps drive increased adoption, not only of CRM Online, but also would be pulling through adoption of Office 365 investments that they've made as well. So if you think about a typical business, they've got activities like operations, they've got marketing, they've got production, administration. These are things that are primary business activities, and CRM is one solution that helps companies execute on things like sales, marketing, and their customer service activities. Companies also require line of business applications that help them do things that fall outside of the spectrum of typical CRM. So for instance, if you needed a solution to help you manage your relationship with vendors or distributors, and you wanted all that to be integrated with Office and Office 365, you wanted to have a system that's going to help you track all of the touch points, the interactions that you have with your customers, and put it within the context of an application that you're used to using. If you're using CRM Online for sales, marketing, or service, it's a great way to be able to help drive people into usage of this as a line of business application development platform. The challenge, I think, that companies have today, you know, I talked about it early on, is that there are all these silos of information. An integrated platform is one that's going to help them provide them with sharing of information. It has the same integration standards as CRM Online. It's got all the infrastructure, the technology is all the same. But oftentimes what companies do is they look at a SaaS offering to develop a quick solution that is creating yet another silo of information. So by using XRM as the platform and managing those interactions with people like vendors and distributors, you're taking advantage of not only the investment that you've made for it on the sales, marketing, or service side, but you've also tied it all together into a technology platform that's familiar and you're used to working with. In order to supplement that information, obviously with the XRM platform, I mentioned that you're going to get a lot of other capabilities that go along with it, like mobile, supported out of the box for iOS, Android, and Windows devices. It's got social, it's got collaboration links, it's got communication capabilities with Office 365, and you're going to be able to supplement your implementation with customer-facing apps like Azure websites, apps and mobile services, as well as being able to create integrated portals and lightweight CRM apps or lightweight apps that use SharePoint and Office 365 as well. So if you think about it in terms of line management, it's really just a way for someone inside of an organization to be able to solve a particular business challenge, and the XRM platform is a great way for folks to be able to manage those requests that fall outside of the typical sales and marketing type realm. Real quick on a couple of notable deployments. I think there are a couple here that you'll find interesting. We've got some really large customers running on the XRM platform, and they range everywhere from government entities like USDA and the U.S. Air Force through education and private sector businesses like Boeing and Wells Fargo, for example. I think the ones that stick out to me is, for instance, H&R Block, and I'm sure that a lot of you on the call run into this today, where you go into an organization and they've got bunches and bunches of Lotus Notes apps that are still floating around. H&R Block, for example, eliminated 40 custom line of business applications that were Notes apps and reduced their sales cycle, their data cycle, from 6 weeks to less than 24 hours by moving onto the platform. The Air Force is also a huge user of XRM solutions. They've got over 45,000 seats, and they're using it for a very, very mission-critical type application that's based on the XRM platform. So I will turn it over to Janet now, who's going to talk about the partner opportunity, and then hopefully at the end here we'll have a few minutes for Q&A. Janet, it's all yours.
Thank you, Dave. And thanks, Mike, for giving us the opportunity to talk to the O365 community today. And thanks to the partners for joining us. So I just want to talk for a couple of minutes about the partnership opportunity for CRM Online. In the U.S. Dynamics organization, there's a team. We're called Partner Portfolio Recruiters. We are 100% focused on recruiting CRM Online partners. And this year, for the first time, we have really been focusing on the platform partners, especially the O365 partners. Those are the partner community that we feel has some huge opportunity, because we don't need partners who are just going to do a CRM-only practice. We need partners who really want to continue the transformation cloud journey and want to add CRM Online and understand why it's a key component of that cloud journey. And hopefully that's what Dave was able to show you today. So why sell Dynamics CRM Online? Well, you can make some good money on CRM Online opportunities. You can make up to a total of 30% of the first year's billing in what we call CSA fees. And that's 26% for the sale and 4% for the ongoing service revenue. And that 4% ongoing service revenue will be paid out in future years beyond the first year. There's also a huge increase in your service revenues. And it's not just your service revenues that are directly related to CRM Online. But I saw a figure the other day that said for every $1 of CRM revenue, there's $1.72 of O365 revenue pull-through. So it's not only a way to expand a new service offering, it's a way to get more revenue from your existing O365 customers. And it's a really growing market. I'm not allowed to share what the growth is in FY15, but FY14 is published. We had 98% growth in Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online. That's huge. And it really does kind of help you change the conversation. Instead of talking just to IT, what we're really seeing with CRM Online, both in a Salesforce automation, but especially when it's used in an XRM application to build line of business applications, is that you're talking to the business leaders. You're talking to the business unit leaders in larger companies. You're talking to the owners. You're talking to sales and marketing in smaller companies. And this opens up an additional way to sell beyond traditional IT. One of the biggest reasons why a lot of Office 365 partners, O365 partners, are picking up CRM Online is because they understand that Microsoft is really encouraging our existing customer base as well as our existing partner base to make sure that we're cross-selling our solution set, our cloud solution set, into our current customer base. And really the concern is if you're not picking up CRM Online because you're saying, well, I don't want to do CRM, I'm going to just let a CRM partner come in and do that, you are also opening up these customers that you've worked so hard to acquire to the chance that these other partners are going to not just offer them CRM Online, but are going to eventually try to impinge on your existing platform business. So I really see it as a way to ensure that you have deep ownership of your existing customers. And there's a huge increase in your company valuation. Our team hired a consulting firm last year to create a presentation for last Worldwide Partner Conference. And basically they found that cloud partner companies have a 3x valuation over traditional on-prem. So if you're looking for an exit strategy, going to develop a cloud practice is a great way to get there. So we have a program called the CRM Online Go Big Acceleration Partner Program, because what we're trying to ensure is that we give you the assistance you need to most quickly get up and going with CRM Online so that you can incorporate it into your existing cloud offerings. So some of the benefits, some of the offerings that we have, you get access to a partner portfolio recruiter like me. And while that may not seem to be a lot, it's a point of contact you have when you need help. I'm not going to solve all your problems, but I have a team of people behind me that include some great solution architects that can help us out. We have some field resources, field technical resources that we might be able to call on from time to time. I spend a lot of my time working with my partners and helping them engage with the field in a way that is win-win for everybody. And we have a fantastic operations team. So this operations team is there to help you get through all the administrative functions and systems and tools in order for you to be able to get focusing on going out and selling and implementing CRM Online-based solutions. So we also have an onboarding checklist. This checklist has everything from how to sign up for MPN if you're not currently, to how to sign up in Dynamics, how to navigate PartnerSource, learning plans, certifications, trainings, marketing tools, etc. And then our team, my team, works with these partners once they're through the onboarding checklist, and we spend a lot of time working with them in sales and marketing, helping them to strategize on the sales opportunities and helping them to market. So an example of how I recently helped a platform partner do marketing is they had a large base of O365 customers, and basically they were doing some generic Salesforce automation type marketing, and it wasn't really resonating. They weren't getting the pipeline build that they were looking for. So I took them through a segmentation exercise, and we kind of broke it down into different segmentations, you know, C-level execs, etc. Then we put a vertical segmentation. We put a EPG CAM, CTM, SMSP segmentation, SMB segmentation, and then we also put a segmentation based on, are you using CRM, yes or no? If you're using CRM, what kind are you using? And we tweaked the messages depending on that. And in their first week of trying to use some of that segmentation, they had 15 appointments. So we thought that was a pretty good response. So what we're looking for from partners in terms of being able to work with us is we do need a dedicated sales and pre-sales resource. We do need you to get the certifications that are required for you to collect the CSA fees. And we are looking for you to do some marketing. We understand that you know, in addition to going back and selling to your existing platform customers, that we also want to work with you on driving net new, business, and we have some marketing tools and plans that we can work with you on that. But what we typically suggest is that you're working on both the net new as well as the going back to the existing customers, because going back to those existing customers will get you the referenceability that'll make it easier to sell to the net new. In addition to the partner gets, we also have the ability to give you some recognition on the dynamic side in the joint business planning. The joint business planning, of course, is for some of the larger customers. But what we do is we facilitate not just with the dynamic salespeople, but sometimes even with the account managers on the platform side as well. So if you are interested, based on what Dave said and based on some of the program details that we've shared with you today, if you're interested in reaching out, here's the team and here is the geography that the team covers. And we would be really interested in having some conversations with you, taking you through the onboarding checklist, helping you understand specifically how much time and effort it's going to take for you to get up and going, so you can make a good business decision as to when to include CRM Online. And that is what I have for today.
Awesome. Thanks, Janet. So, Michael, so we've got some questions in the queue. I don't know if they're a little complicated for you guys to tackle. Do you want to try answering a couple of them out loud? We just have a couple minutes before we wrap up, but again, I'm not sure if you guys want to tackle any of them.
Well, it's Dave. Are you able to answer any of these, or do you want to take some of these offline? Or Janet, you're just getting off. Maybe you can look through some of these. Anything you can comment on during the call?
Don had a question around being able to import leads into CRM, which I did comment on in the Q&A window, but essentially, you know, CRM Online has an import wizard that you can use to move data in and out of CRM. And also there are some great tools out there like Scribe and others that if you needed to set up more of an, a more in-depth kind of import routine would be great for getting your leads or any other data into CRM.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. While you guys are reviewing the questions, the audience, I'd like to call your attention to a survey link. I've posted it in the IM conversation window, and I also put it in the Q&A pane. If you access it there, you may need to copy the link and paste it into a new browser window. But we do appreciate you taking a moment to fill it out prior to logging out. After you enter the survey, our voting scale is on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. So if you got some great information from our team today, or if you have some recommendations for future events, we'd love to hear from you. Be sure to click on the Submit button at the bottom to ensure that your feedback has been received. And with that, Dave, did you find anything else in the Q&A there that you can tackle at the moment?
Not right at the moment, no.
Okay, perfect. So, Michael, unless you or Janet or Dave have any final words for our audience, I will go ahead and conclude our recording, and then if you guys want to work on those questions after we conclude the recording, that'd be great.
So the slides are available for download, right, Deb?
Correct. They are in attachments.
It looks like when Janet was talking, she was referring to some things, but I guess the slides weren't advancing, and so there were some questions around the here that Janet was talking about. So if you download those slides, you should be able to get that information, and also the links to some of the CRM webcasts that Rami was talking about in the beginning.
Perfect. And then, Michael, do you have a Yammer site or an email that if folks have questions, they can contact you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So I put my email in the Q&A window, and so if you want to email in one of the questions from George, so if you want to email me directly, feel free to go ahead and do that, and so this way we know how to get back to you, or as always you can join our Yammer site, which is in the deck as well. There's a vanity URL there to be able to join up, but it's part of the U.S. partner community, and it's the Office 365 Yammer group, and so we would encourage you to submit your questions through there as well.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so any other final words, Michael, before we wrap up our recording today?
No, just thanks everybody for joining today, and appreciate the opportunity. So.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude the recorded portion of today's Partner Infopedia web conference. Again, partners, you're going to be able to get to the replay on worldwide events in 24 hours. I'd like to extend a big thank you to our presenter team, and thank you, audience, for logging in and joining us today.